I love ocean waves. It's something I've been struggling with for almost 3 years now because it was hard for me to work out how I really felt about this movie. Every time Ghibli would come up, this would be one of the first movies that I thought about. And I think the reason was because I didn't get it. And maybe I still don't, but at least now I can get something from it.
The thing that's baffled me about Ocean Waves is the ending, because it has a bad ending even though it ends on a positive note tonally. Because of this, it's able to give you this weird mixture of emotions that you just don't know what to do with.
I've been thinking about this movie at almost every waking hour for the past month, and the ending is what I've had trouble grappling with most.
I really feel for Taku, and I wanted him to learn from his mistakes, and I feel like he did until that last scene of the movie.
The story of Ocean Waves is fairly simple, revolving around the relationship of our protagonist, Taku Morisaki, and Rikako Muto, the new girl. Nothing about Taku and Rikako's relationship is healthy, and both parties are at fault for this. Their relationship starts with a lie and a broken promise, and only spirals downhill from there, but never once feels contrived. This is why I find this movie so powerful.
Throughout the short 72-minute runtime, Ocean Waves is able to craft fully realized, realistic characters and pit their clashing personalities against each other, while at the same time showing the developing feelings they have for each other.
In a movie as short as this, it's important to keep a fairly small cast and focus everything around one character, which is why we see the narrative through Taku's eyes. He's an average guy just trying to make his way through high school when a new girl transfers in. Unlike most protagonists his age, he doesn't fall for this girl on day one. He just thinks she's pretty cute. He becomes more infatuated with her as time goes on until we see the result of his feelings for her when he turns around and sees her at the party in Hawaii. The pure joy on his face from just seeing her is so innocent, and it's clear that he's happy just to be in her vicinity. However, this encounter leads to her yelling at him about telling his friend she borrowed money from him. It was a dick move of him to do that after saying he wouldn't, but she was conning money out of him so that she could go back to Tokyo and visit her dad, even though she was always planning on paying him back. This is where we begin to see the toxic nature of their relationship and where everything for them truly begins.
My favorite part of this movie is the trip to Tokyo. Everything we see is from Taku's perspective, and it makes Rikako seem like a terrible person.
She starts by dragging her unknowing friend Yuma into the drama by almost forcing her to fly to Tokyo with her. Luckily, Taku shows up and takes Yuma's place, which puts her mind at ease, knowing there will be someone with Rikako in the big city, and she doesn't have to lie to her parents about where she's going. Rikako seemingly doesn't care about any of this, which comes across as very, very selfish.
And, that's because it is.
When Taku and Rikako arrive in Tokyo, they head straight to her father's apartment, since that's the reason Rikako came. Rikako ringing the doorbell is when we finally see her true self. As she calls up to the room gleefully expecting her father to answer, the response comes from a woman that we don't know, but it's clear Rikako does. Every facade she's put up in front of Taku instantly shatters as she goes from having a wide grin on her face to revealing the sullen, upset teenager that she is inside.
This one scene is the most important in the entire movie when it comes to understanding Rikako and why she treats others the way that she does.
She's broken. Her family is shattered and will never be the same, and all she wants is some semblance of normalcy back.
She has believed this entire time that the divorce was her mother's fault.
Her mother is the reason she had to move. Her mother is the reason she isn't able to see her friends. Her mother is the reason they're no longer one unit. The only time we see the woman Rikako's father was with is while Taku's waiting downstairs in the lobby and she passes by. It's never told explicitly, but it's clear the divorce was not as one-sided as Rikako thought it was. At least, not the side she thought it was. Rikako's view of reality has been changed forever, and she can never go back to being the same daddy's girl that she was before.
This sudden shock causes her to react in such a way as to gain any semblance of that love and support she once had from her parents, to not feel betrayed by those she trusts. And in doing so, she unintentionally did the same thing to Taku that her parents did to her.
She runs to Taku's hotel room and uses him as a shoulder to cry on. Over the course of the night, Taku finally falls head over heels for her and begins to understand her situation and feelings more. The next morning, Taku gets kicked out of the hotel room so Rikako can get ready to meet with an old friend for lunch. Taku obliges with the understanding it's just two friends meeting to catch up. It's not until he's invited to join them that it's clear there's something else going on. It seems more like a date than just a casual meeting between friends. This is the point in the movie where everything has become irreversible. Taku is cut too deep, and no matter what happens, they will never be able to have a stable relationship. This is not something he's able to just get over. How could he ever trust her again after using him one night and moving on the next morning? All of these pent-up feelings between the two of them finally explode in the hallways of school after their return. They get into a huge fight which ends with both of them slapping each other. As soon as Taku does this, he knows he just made the worst choice he could have, and now neither one of them can even look at each other, let alone be friends. The final scene of Ocean Waves is Taku and Rikako running into each other on the train platform, followed by the credits showing glimpses of mostly Rikako's life, but it's hard to place where most of these take place since they're just indiscriminate images.
On a first viewing, this ending doesn't make much sense. The entire movie has built up this impossible relationship between these characters that really like each other, but just don't work. To end a movie that has developed this relationship between these two very complex characters with a generic romance ending is extremely disrespectful to the rest of the movie and all of the characters that live within it.
The ending seemingly removes every emotional beat that the characters had throughout the film and sends the message that no matter how toxic the relationship was, it can work out if you try hard enough.
For the most part, this ending would have been fine if the movie had set it up from the beginning, but it doesn't.
There's no point in the movie where Taku and Rikako reconcile and show that they have changed for each other. They haven't seen each other in years, and while it's possible to forgive and forget someone you don't see any longer, it would be hard to suppress the feelings that arise when you encounter that person on the train platform one day. Those feelings of betrayal would well back up instantly, and there would be no real way for them to be happy seeing each other like that.
Now, I don't know what feelings I would have if I ran into my ex out of the blue, but I imagine it'd feel like a punch in the gut, and not something that I would want to stay around for. I definitely wouldn't be chasing after them to try to get back together.
The ending of Ocean Waves shows the cyclical nature of toxic relationships and how Taku is unable to escape from it. One day you think everything is fine, but then someone mentions at a class reunion that the girl you had a thing for is looking for somebody who sleeps in bathtubs, and you're back in it again, constantly thinking about her and persuading yourself that everything bad that happened was your fault, not theirs. They didn't do anything wrong and you've changed now. You're a better man and you'll be able to treat her better than you did last time because you truly want her to be happy. No matter what happens, you won't make her feel the way she felt last time because she deserves more than that. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to you. You only got hurt last time because of your own actions. I mean, after all, she's perfect. And who knows, maybe the credits do show their happy life together. Maybe they did get married, and maybe they divorced after. Maybe we're seeing Taku's thoughts as he is once again reminded of the girl he used to love. Maybe this is Taku once again remembering what he misses about her and is about to run off to find this girl again because he doesn't know what to do without her. Or maybe not. Maybe this is the happy-go-lucky rom-com ending that ruins the movie and completely backtracks on all of the themes that had been set up previously. Either way, it's a bad ending. And I love it.